This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. Field Day is one of the largest amateur radio events in North America. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has proclaimed June 22nd and 23rd as Amateur Radio Operators Appreciation Days in the state of Ohio to celebrate this year's ARRL Field Day exercise. Many of the clubs and groups are getting their Field Day event organized for June 22nd and 23rd, and the Okian Amateur Radio Society is certainly one of them. They'll be moving to a new location this year at the Westside Masonic Center, 4353 West Fork Road in Cincinnati, Ohio. They plan to return to Mitchell next year. They're having their annual Field Day picnic at Field Day at 6 p.m. And then there's the midnight stakeout where everybody brings their own protein to throw on the grill with their own fixings to enjoy. If you're interested in joining the Okian Amateur Radio Society Field Day group, reach out to Eric, N8YC, who is organizing the event. The Bluegrass Amateur Radio Society will be setting up at the Haw Farm Park, 3551 Briar Hill Road in Lexington, Kentucky. The Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will host Field Day at the Lincoln Ridge Park in Independence, Kentucky. Field Day coordinator is Michael, KE8PLM, who has put together a great Field Day event. Chief Wendell, KO4RXE, has the Field Day meals second to none planned for around 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. The Amateur Radio Emergency Team is providing the communications trailer for Field Day use. Mark, AI4BJ, will be overseeing the Get on the Air station and encourage all new hams, and even if you don't have your amateur radio license, come out and see Mark and get on the air to make your first amateur radio HF contact for an experience that you'll never forget. So if you're interested in the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club Field Day, go to k4co.org to sign up. The Stubblefield Repeater Club, KF4UTJ, will be holding Field Day at the Red Orchard Park, 704 Kentucky Street in Shelbyville, Kentucky. They invite everyone to come out and get on the air at their go-to station. For more information, go to StubblefieldRepeaterClub.org. The Milford Amateur Radio Club will hold Field Day at the Klepper Pike Pavilion A on Summerside Road. They'll be operating from 2 p.m. on Saturday until dusk when the park closes. For more Field Day locations, check out the ARRL Field Day Locator at ARRL.org. Sad to report that Pulaski County's longest licensed YL became a silent key. Kathy True, WA4BSF, who was a ham for over 50 years, passed away at the age of 70. Our thoughts and prayers to her family and friends. The Okian Amateur Radio Society will once again this year man the Red, White, and Blue Ash Beer booth to help fund the club's coffers. The event will be held on July 4th at Summit Park in Blue Ash from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you can help out with this event, contact Drew, KEHJTL, at macdonald.drew1@gmail.com. Amateur radio volunteers are needed for the annual 4th of July parade in Northside, Ohio. The parade has a very long tradition and is very well attended. Communication support is needed from about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is another great opportunity for you to utilize your ham radio skills, abilities, and equipment to serve the public good. If you're interested in helping out, reach out to W8SM at kevin.tribbe@gmail.com. Listen out for that annual special event we all like to work. Yes, the 13 Colonies special event will run from July 1st through July 8th, where each of the original 13 Colonies have a special call sign to present on the air, along with 3 additional bonus stations representing Great Britain, France, and Philadelphia. They'll be operating on all bands except 60 meters in all modes, including sideband, CW, RTTY, and digital modes. For more information on how to collect that collector's QSL certificate, go to 13colonies.us. On July 13th, the Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association is again serving the community by providing communications for the upcoming Connect Community Village 5K Walk and Run event, which will take place in downtown Somerset, Kentucky, starting around 9 a.m. and ending around 11 a.m. They're looking for volunteers to assist in communications for the event. If you can help out, contact Mike, KD6FTR. The Brunch Bunch will be on July 13th at 1 p.m. at the Big Candy Barbecue, 5901 Kellogg Avenue in California, Ohio, just off I-275. It's only apropos for hams to really enjoy great barbecue. On July 27th, the David Kalter Memorial Youth DX Adventure will operate a special event station using the call sign K3Y, operating from K3LR contesting station, and will participate in the RSGB IOTA contest as youth operators. Listen out for them and give them a QSO. A great event to volunteer for is Paddlefest, where amateur radio operators provide communications for safety and logistics for the big Paddlefest event on the Ohio River. This year, Paddlefest will be held on August 3rd, 2024. There are positions both on the river and on the shore. If you'd like to volunteer for this fun event, email Rick, KD4PYR, at KD4PYR@ARRL.net. The Murray State University Amateur Radio Club K4MSU announced that the particulars on this year's 5th anniversary Kentucky Parks on the Air contest, which will be held on August 10, 2024 from 1400 hours UTC to 2200 hours UTC. For the particular modes, bands, rules, and all the other important information, go to k4msu.com/KYPOTA. The Air Force Marathon is looking for a few good hams to volunteer to provide communications assistance for the event on Saturday, September 21st in the area of the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. For more information or to volunteer, email Bob, NADO at afm.hams@gmail.com.
Repeater news.
The new NADO-XA repeater in Florence, Kentucky is playing really well on analog. Program your radio for full 44.175 with a plus 5 megahertz offset and a PL tone of 131.8. Might be a good idea to also program that tone squelch of 131.8 as well to keep that digital noise from breaking the squelch if someone is on digital. For DMR, it is a not network and has a program color code of 2 for the repeater with a time slot 1 supporting talk group 300 and time slot 2 also. The repeater is currently only putting out 17 watts, but Mark is working on increasing the power of the repeater, which should improve the performance even more. The reports on this repeater have been coming in and truly amazing. Hams from all over northern Kentucky have had success getting into this repeater. So program it in and check it out.
Hamfessts.
July 20th is the second annual Northeast Ohio Amateur Radio Roundup from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Harry Meschel Picnic Area at the Lake Milton State Park, 590 Milton Avenue in Milton, Ohio. They'll have presentations on POTA, antenna building, and experimenting, show and tell, and other amateur radio topics. They'll have a fox hunt at 2 p.m. On July 20th is the third annual Ashtabula Hamfest at the Pioneer Picnic, 1809 Middle Road in Pierpoint, Ohio. Talking on the 146.895 repeater with a PL of 141.3. On July 21st is the Van Wert Hamfest at the Van Wert County Fairgrounds, 1055 South Washington Street in Van Wert, Ohio. For more information, go to WA4BSF.org. August 3rd is the Columbus, Ohio Hamfest at the Aladdin Shrine Center, 1801 Gateway Circle in Grove City, Ohio. August 10th is the Cincinnati Hamfest at the Claremont County Fairgrounds in Owensville, Ohio. For more information, see MilfordHamRadio.org. August 18th is the Warren Hamfest at the Trumbull County Fairgrounds, 899 Everett Hall Road in Cortland, Ohio. Talking on 146.970 repeater.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at MilfordHamRadio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On June 25th at 6 p.m., the amateur radio testing session will be held at Anderson County Extension Building. Use the rear entrance, lower level, 1026 County Park Road in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. For more information, contact Brian Carter, KI4TLW at 502-545-0376. On July 13th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On July 13th at 10 a.m., an amateur radio exam session will be held at the Clark County Emergency Operations Center, 200 Maryland Drive in Winchester, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/AC4YD. For more information, contact Darrell Epperson, AC4YD at 859-771-1834. On July 23rd at 6 p.m., an amateur radio testing session will be held at the Anderson County Extension Building. Use the rear entrance, lower level, 1026 County Park Road in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. For more information, contact Brian Carter, KI4TLW at 502-545-0376. On Saturday, July 27th at 10 a.m., the Wilderness Road Amateur Radio Club will sponsor an amateur radio license exam session at the American Legion post number 46, 45 Spears Lane in Danville, Kentucky. Pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions. For more information, contact Harold Miller, AF6MB, at 541-602-6535. Special thanks to this week's content contributors, W4IOD, KE4WA, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.